Hallelujah 95.3. I'm so grateful, God, to know you in the most. When you created her for me, Lord, you know. If marriage takes work, and on the phone line, I want to say via satellite, because they all over the world, you know. This is a huge movement, marriage takes work. And on the phone line, we have Danny and Rhoda Whitfield. How are you?
Doing good, my brother. How about
Doing
yourself?
good today.
Oh, man, I'm doing good. I'm you know, knowing that you got to stay safe, washing your hands, and all that good stuff, right?
Yes.
Got to clean it up.
Yeah. Okay. Well, marriage takes work today. What are we talking about today?
Well, we're going to be talking about U-turns. You know, earlier today, a friend of mine and I, we needed to go to the store, and I don't have any sense of direction.
None.
And so we were going down International, and I said, you know what, this doesn't feel right. And we had to make a U-turn to go back. So now, I don't have a problem in making a U-turn that way. But what we want to let the listening audience know that we got to work so that we don't make U-turns in our marriage.
I mean, the things get a little rocky with different relationships. I know you can't take no U-turn and straighten back up.
Well,
You can't. It's like the marriage is like a road trip. You got your bumps and the bruises. You got your stops and your delays and your potholes. But even when you're going through all of that, there's still no reason for you to make that U-turn. Mm-hmm. You got to press your way. You got to go all the way with it, no matter what. You got to have that staying power.
that's right. It's just marriage growing pains. You know, you got to stick with it. You can't expect every time something happens that you're going to just throw in the towel because you got some bumps and bruises or obstacles in your way. You got to just keep pressing.
Keep on. And recognizing that when you're in marriage, there is something called the gift of struggles. You're going to struggle. There are going to be some pains and some gains. And you got to stay in it. Like I said, stay in the race and go all the way. 99 and a half won't do. You got to make 100. You got to keep pushing your way. For me, early in our marriage, yeah, I had some doubts. Coming up to year 5, man, I think I'm done.
But I think our marriage is like a testament, you know, because yes, we did between year 1 and 5. We wanted to just give up, but we kept pressing our way, and so look at where we are now. So all of the bumps and the bruises and the potholes that we came up against, we stood up and we continued to work. That was because we saw the need to not come to the table with 50%, but we come to the table with 100% each, not 50-50. This is 100% effort.
So you got to go. You got to press your way through it. Make the necessary adjustments. Get to those like you're servicing your car. Get to those points where you have to go in for a road check. Yeah, I need to check this out. I need to check that out. I need to check this out. Where are we, and where do we need to go, such that we won't have to make those U-turns. If I'm checking the tires, if I'm checking the oil, if I'm checking the engine, I don't have to worry about anything going down the road, or I have to make that U-turn, or even to get off the road. I got to stay the course and go all the way.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know.
And I love that analogy. I love that analogy you just put out there with Phil, because most times, I mean, vehicles are made to last a long time if you keep up with the maintenance.
Right.
And that really is the bulk of any relationship. Maintaining whatever that maintenance, when that maintenance is called for, that means so you have to step right in and do what you need to do, tune it up.
And sometimes the adjustment that you need to tune up could be in yourself.
Oh.
And so you got to recognize if when you are or have issues that you need to work on, and then you got to ask yourself, well, am I willing to do the work that I needed to do to change? And then you got to look at you as a couple. You as a couple got to recognize, you know what, we got problems. And we can't seem to work through these problems by ourselves. All we're doing is playing tug of war. We need a mediator that can come in and help us get through these issues. And then we got to realize after that, Doc, that marriage is not a contract. It is a covenant.
Yep.
And the end of your vows say, till death do us part. That is the ultimate fulfillment of your marriage.
Now, what you say it's not a contract.
It's not a contract that you can break. It's a covenant that you have to fulfill.
We all make those when we have a contract. We can tear it up. We can rearrange it. We can make the needed adjustments. We can revise it. But in the marriage, it's not a contract. It is a covenant. It's a triangle. And God is at the top of that triangle, and you two are at the bottom. So you're not just making that contract with the lover, your lover for life, but that contract is the covenant is also to God, and you got to make sure that you hold to what you have gotten into. For instance, it says not to be entered into unadvisedly. So you got to be sure what you're doing when you step into it.
That's right.
Because it's not something that you're going to be able to tear up and say, you know what, after 2 years, I think I'll try something different. Marriage is not that way.
You got to look at that. You got to go back and reassess, why did you get married?
Oh, that's a movie.
And you got to go back to that if you're having difficulties. Because like I said, at the closing of your vows, the last thing you say is until death do us part. It does not say until we get tired and we can make a U-turn. It says until death do we part, and that is the fulfillment of your vows.
Yeah.
Wow. On the phone line, Danny and Rhoda and Danny Whitfield, pastor, Danny, minister, co-pastor, I call them all of them. Minister was all in many ways. With marriage takes work, and today, talking about U-turns. So we say no U-turn.
No U-turn.
Unacceptable.
Now, I actually had an opportunity to interview a world-renowned marriage counselor, and they actually said, this doctor said, don't get me wrong, folks think that, him and his wife are just perfect. He was like, no, that's not true. He said they had to learn how to fight fair. I said, what do you mean? I said, can you expound on that as far as learning how to disagree or to fight fair?
Well, basically, I look at that as being able to, when you get in an argument, you said that this is your lover for life. So the one thing you don't want to do, you don't want to bring any embarrassment to them. You don't want to demeanor them in the presence of other people. And you don't want to say anything to them that you're going to have to say, I'm sorry for. You want to be able to sit down and talk about things and hear each other and not talk at each other and not sit up there and say, okay, let me see how I'm going to get back at you. Would you say, come on, bring me some more. That's not fighting fair.
That's not being able to agree to disagree.
Right.
I have a position that I'm taking. You have a position that you're taking. So why can't we reason together as to how we can become some kind of resolve, so that friction isn't taking place even in our communication. We can't talk if we got something that's out there on the table that we haven't resolved. So we have to get to the point where we're able to openly, in a sane way, discuss our disagreements and our faults and our failures, throwing all of those things out. Sometimes we can say some things that we can't take back if we don't carefully think about what we are saying to this person we say we love.
Well, I think one thing, Doc, they got to realize first is that they're two imperfect people. And when you take two imperfect people and put them in a perfect union designed by God, there are going to be some problems. When God put both of your butts up on that wheel together, it's one thing to sit on that wheel by yourself. But when He put both of y'all on there trying to blend you all into becoming one, you're going to hurt.
It's like we're on the potter's wheel, and every day in our marriage, God is pulling stuff out of us and replacing it with something else. There's all of us come with some flaws, and those flaws, as He put us on that potter's wheel, He's pruning us and purging us and making us what He needs us to be. We got perfect examples in the Bible when we talk about the context of marriage. God taught us how families survive tragedy. When we look at Cain and Abel, how that marriage has to survive tragedy. Then we look at Gomer and Hosea, had to talk about forgiveness and unfaithfulness. So marriage is still good. It still blesses. It still is the key to us having companionship and somebody who could be our lover for life. So it's still the best thing going.
And it's still a learning process. Everything about you and your mate in your marriage, you have to learn. And I look at it like this: you're gonna be tested. Everything that you do, you're gonna be tested on. So you can make the decision whether you're gonna keep taking the same test. No, let me change that. You're gonna keep flunking the same test. You're gonna keep flunking the same test and taking it over and over and over, or wake up and take the scales off of your eyes and realize that there's something for you to learn in what y'all are going through right then and there.
Yeah.
Wow. How can people find you online? How can they follow you? How can they keep up with you? Because we do this every Thursday at 4:45, and folks are, they started to tune in. They started to call about it and everything. So how can they follow you and watch the rewind of this episode?
They can find us on Facebook, Danny and Rhoda Whitfield, or Marriage Takes Work. They can find us on YouTube, Marriage Takes Work. Hey, we're out there. They can connect with us through somebody. Somebody is their friend, that's our friend. So, if they send us a friend request, we'll be sure to befriend them.
Thank you so much. And you said at 5 years, y'all, you kind of thought about it, but after how many years now?
It's going to be 40 in October.
Wow. And just to think, if you wouldn't have held down on that 5-year mark, we're going to be celebrating 40 years in marriage coming October.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, man. Thank you so much. Go ahead.
A true test of what it means to stay in the process. Even at year 5, when you're thinking about calling it quits, staying in the process, growing together in every facet of what marriage is the thing that sustains us all of these years. And so we're in it to win it until death do us part.
Amen.
Thank you so much. Every Thursday, 4:45, you know where to be, right here on Hallelujah 95.3, and your marriage takes work.
All right, Doc, thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, my brother.